Today, we're going to crack open a 3,000-year-old rule for wealth. Seriously, this is a timeless strategy, and it's not just about growing a fortune. It's about making it practically indestructible, something that can survive any economic storm you can imagine.
You know, the core idea here is incredibly simple. There's this timeless principle for handling money that, honestly, most modern advice just completely misses. This isn't about chasing some risky, high-flying stock. Nope. It's about building a financial foundation that can withstand, well, anything.
So to really get why this ancient rule is so powerful, we have to start by looking at the #1 trap that people fall into. It's a really simple mistake, but believe me, the consequences can be absolutely devastating.
And here's the mistake. Most of us, we concentrate all our wealth in one place. You know, maybe it's all in real estate, or it's tied up in a business, or maybe it's just sitting in cash. We think we're being smart, putting our money where it seems to be working the hardest.
But that's exactly the problem. When everything you have is tied up in just one basket, a single crisis in that one area, a stock market crash, a recession, a credit crunch, can literally wipe you out.
So many people push, 70, 80, even 90% of their entire net worth into things they can't sell easily. This leaves them with absolutely no ammo for emergencies, and maybe even more importantly, no flexibility to jump on opportunities. They end up becoming what's called a forced seller, having to sell their best assets at the absolute worst possible time.
But what if there was a better way? A system with a track record that goes back millennia. And look, this isn't some new financial product. This is ancient wisdom, written down in texts like the Talmud, and it even goes back to King Solomon himself.
And that brings us to the big idea, the rule of thirds. The principle is so simple. You divide your wealth into 3 equal and fundamentally different parts. Now let me be clear, this isn't just about diversification. It's a totally different architecture for your finances.
So what are these 3 parts? Let's break down the pillars that make this system so incredibly robust.
The rule is just stunningly clear. 1/3 of your wealth goes into real estate. Another third goes into business. And that final, crucial third, it has to be kept liquid. Cash or things you can access really, really quickly. Now, for many of us today, that business third, well, that could be a well-diversified stock portfolio, which is really just ownership in a whole collection of different businesses.
Okay, so each pillar has a very specific and vital job. Real estate, that gives you stability and protects you from inflation. Your business or stock portfolio, that's your engine for income and growth. And that liquid third? That's your oxygen in a crisis, and it's your ammunition for opportunity. It's the combination of the 3 that creates this perfect balance.
So, how does this actually create such a resilient structure? Well, the genius isn't just in having 3 different categories. It's in the equal balance between them. This is where the magic really happens.
You see, the common approach is just fragile. It makes you vulnerable with zero margin of safety. But the rule of thirds, it's resilient by its very design. It builds that margin of safety right into its structure, so it protects you from disaster while keeping you ready for incredible opportunities. I mean, think about what this really means. With this balance, you can survive a complete catastrophe in one of those categories. Let's say the real estate market completely crashes. Well, your business and your liquid assets are there to keep you afloat. What if your business fails? Your land and your cash are your safety net. It's both aggressive and protected at the same time.
And this right here is a critical shift in mindset. That 1/3 you keep in cash or liquid assets, that is not just sitting there for a rainy day. That is the ammunition you keep loaded so you can fire when the perfect target appears. It's what lets you act when the best investment of a lifetime comes along without having to sell something else first.
All right, so after digging into this 3,000-year-old framework, it's time to bring it home. Let's think about how this applies directly to our own financial lives right now.
When you really boil it all down, this ancient wisdom teaches us that true wealth isn't just static accumulation. It's not about hoarding. It's about a dynamic flow. It's about creating a perfect balance between stability, growth, and flexibility.
And that leaves us with one final and really powerful question. Take a hard look at your own finances. Are you truly balanced across these 3 pillars? Or are you, maybe, vulnerable to that all-in-one mistake? The answer could be the most important financial insight you gain all year.